I got punched in the face the first time when I was 10 years old in the streets of Germany. And then after a few more violent altercations over my teenage years, I decided that I wanted to learn to fight. I decided that I want to be able to defend myself if somebody attacks me. I wanted to have a fairly high probability that I'm going to be able to fuck somebody up if they attack me. Not because I like violence, in fact, I really hate it. There's no winner in a violent altercation, even if you are quote-unquote the winner. I simply wanted to know that I'm going to be okay. So, when I committed myself to the process of learning how to fight, jiu-jitsu, karate, kickboxing, and various other styles, I simply had the outcome in mind. I wanted the skill set. Now, once I got into the journey, once I committed myself to the process, I realized there's so many benefits that come with the process, that come with the journey, that come with learning about myself and my body and developing the skill set that I couldn't have possibly anticipated. And right now, all you want might be this amazing relationship to a beautiful woman, somebody who's actually right for you, somebody that you can have a family with, somebody that you can share life with. But today, I want to talk to you about what's going to happen if you commit yourself to the process of improving your communication skills and studying the psychology of men to women interactions. When you commit yourself to the process of mastering your dating and your relationship life. Because guess what? Finding this amazing, high-quality relationship is not going to happen from today to tomorrow. It's going to take some time, usually X amount of months. It doesn't take years, but if you're 35 years of age, for example, or 40 years of age, or 30 years of age, you have 30, 35, 40 years of social conditioning imposed upon you. You've developed certain habits of thinking, feeling, and acting that have to be changed. And these habits, from what we know about science, take a couple of months to redevelop. You'll have to get new skill sets. You'll have to learn things about yourself. So how can you best maximize this process? How can you enjoy it the most? And how can you minimize the time spent? Well, we know, I think Tony Robbins talks about that if we actually enjoy something, we learn faster. And you know that it's true. If you enjoy something, if you're emotionally engaged in a positive way, when you're learning piano, when you're learning swimming, martial arts, you learn faster than somebody who hates it. That's just a fact. So today I want to talk to you about the numerous benefits that you're going to accrue in the journey of finding this amazing girlfriend and life partner. So when I got into martial arts, I realized, wow, there's actually a lot of cool people here. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturday mornings, I had cool people that I could spend my time with. Yes, we were engaged in physical combat and learning how to fight. Again, I'm not a professional fighter by any stretch of the imagination, okay? I've trained with some professional fighters here in Dublin and in Ireland. That is a different level. I'm pretty good, and I could probably fuck up 49 out of 50 people, 99 out of 100, no problem. But professional fighter, that's a different level, okay? Just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. So we were engaged in physical combat, but the social element was also amazing. So I had a social occasion with friends to look forward to. I developed friendships along the way, some of which I still have to this day. I grew a sense of confidence in myself that came as a result of the competence of being able to fight. If you realize that your body is able to do a spinning back kick, you can kick somebody in the head. Again, it's not about the violence, it's about the art. It's not about wanting to hurt somebody, it's about realizing your body is competent, your body is able to perform in a situation of heightened stress. Right? Realizing all that creates a sense of confidence. It creates a sense of certainty. You walk around the world in a completely different manner. And if you happen to have studied some form of martial arts, you will realize that. Now, the interesting thing is, that's also true with being able to play the piano. If you have any type of skill set, martial arts in particular, but any type of skill set, it could be even just your job, your business success, you walk around the world in a different way. There's so many more benefits that I accrued along the journey that I couldn't have possibly anticipated beforehand. I had something to look forward to every single week. My communication, my general communication skills changed completely. I wasn't an amazing communicator at all, even in general. Even though I was very extroverted, I had to learn social calibration. It's a very disciplined and respectful environment. You learn grit. You learn to overcome a challenge. Because What did Mike Tyson say? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah, you can feel pretty confident and feel good about yourself as a man. When you put on boxing gloves and somebody, boom, punches you in the face, you realize, oh, I may not be as good as fighting as I initially thought. I was on Dubai radio 6 or 9 months ago. 6 months ago, I believe. And they asked me something around men's ability. I don't even know how we got into the subject, but basically what I said to her was, most men think they're good at fighting and they think they're good at talking to women, and I can tell you they're not great at both, right? So you realize, it was the same for me in the beginning, when the first time I had boxing gloves on, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fine, I've seen movies, right? One guy comes, boom, punches me in the eye, I'm on the ground immediately. Oh, that hurt. I wanted to stop immediately. I was like, this is shit, this sucks, I don't like this at all. So you get humbled. And that's one of the beautiful things about martial arts. You get humbled quite quickly. It's the same thing in dating, by the way. You get humbled quite quickly. If you get the punch in the face in martial arts is a rejection by a woman. That's pretty much the equivalent. And it hurts. The way it hurt my fucking eye, the way it hurts to get kicked in the head or in the gut or all that, it's pretty similar to get rejected initially. But then, as your skill set progresses in martial arts, you get punched in the head less and it hurts less. And in dating, same thing. You get rejected less because your skill set improves and it hurts less. In the beginning, not right now, the thought of getting rejected by a beautiful woman after you approaching her in a direct way and saying, excuse me 2 seconds, you're super beautiful. Well, I actually wouldn't use that one. I would say, excuse me 2 seconds, I really like your posture. Excuse me 2 seconds, your eyes are super beautiful. You have a super beautiful smile. Make it specific. And then you build attraction and then you move things forward, all that. And if she rejects you either right off the open or after 5 or 10 minutes into the conversation, she tells you, well, I actually have a boyfriend. In the beginning, that may actually hurt a lot because you feel rejected at your core. One of the deepest fears we as men have is getting rejected by an amazing woman after putting our balls on the table, right? That's why I always told this story of how I was in a nightclub with a friend of mine in Berlin, and there was this girl I really wanted to go and speak to. In Germany, people speak German. And so I walk up to this German girl in a German nightclub, and I ask her in English, excuse me, where are the toilets? And I asked her that in English, and she looks at me and she rejected me, obviously, because the way I approached her was absolutely terrible. My communication skills were off. There was an utter lack of confidence. But the reason I asked her that in English is because, if she rejects me, it wouldn't be me, because I speak German, and I hadn't lived abroad at that point in time. So I asked her in English so she would reject this false self. Not really me. This false identity that I've created. It was a protective mechanism. But if you actually roll up on somebody in a respectful, kind, calibrated way, like a normal, decent human being, and you still get rejected in the beginning, it may hurt. The first time when you get punched in the face, people actually get aggressive, and I had that as well. Everybody goes through that in martial arts. If you start sparring and then you get punched in the face, then aggression comes up. You become aggressive. And then you really want to fuck the other person up. In sparring, right? Not like you want to win. And then at some point you realize that you have to learn to control these emotions. So you learn a huge degree of emotional control, and eventually that anger doesn't even come up anymore because it's completely normal, right? It's a completely normal part of the process, and you realize there's always someone better out there. So it humbles you in a very nice way. At the same time, you become super confident and humble at the same time. You develop discipline, you develop emotional grit. There's so many beautiful things that you learn in martial arts as well as in dating when you commit yourself to the process. One of the biggest things that there's so many things. One of the biggest things that I've learned when I committed myself to figuring out this dating and relationship thing, because I sucked. I was married to a woman who wasn't right for me. I was lucky enough to find a mentor in the beginning who was working in the same tech company as me back in the day, and he showed me a couple of things. But when I committed myself to the process, I realized that you will face, whether you meet women online or in real life, whether you like to go out at night or not, you don't have to go to bars and nightclubs if you don't want to, but if you expose yourself and you meet a lot of women in a rather short period of time, you will have a variety of interactions. You'll have some that go fantastic if you learn how to do it specifically, and you'll have some that just go terrible, and some will reject you. Yesterday, I was in town with a couple of clients. I had some US clients fly over because we did an in-person event. One of my clients, he walks up to a lady, introduces himself, and she literally tells him, "Fuck off." And he just laughed. He laughed it off and kept walking. But in the beginning, if you're not used to that, that can hurt. I sometimes say to my clients, I was like, you think I'm harsh? I'm super loving and kind, but sometimes I'm harsh because they need to hear the truth, you know? If you think I'm mean, I'm just prepping you for the world. Now, that is not to say that you should tolerate mean behavior. The woman you're going to end up with should treat you amazingly well. But to be able to get there, you'll have to develop some thick skin. You may be emotionally a bit sensitive. I was that too. And I probably still am to an extent, But I've realized that getting rejected or getting harsh feedback or criticism, if I didn't do anything wrong, if all I did was respectful, maybe fun and polarizing a little bit, but as long as I communicated respectfully and I then get a negative reaction from a woman or another human being, it doesn't say anything about myself. I used to be so scared of conflict, especially with the people I cared about. And once I've grown in this process over many years, I realized, wow, I don't actually have to be afraid of conflict. Because it's the way I handle conflict. People react, because I used to think people, especially women, reacting negatively towards me must mean I've done something wrong. Must mean I've done something wrong. Because I was in a relationship, I was married to a woman where I assumed most of the guilt. When there was a conflict, I thought I did everything wrong. And then I realized, well, this shared responsibility. It wasn't necessarily all my fault. Maybe she had something to do with that as well. Now, obviously, you want to assume a degree of responsibility for your actions. You want to be a respectful person, but it's never just your responsibility. So if you know that you've acted right, and sometimes you can't be sure, so you should consult a few people, friends, mentors, or people that you have in your immediate environment to be able to consult on the situation to ask, did I actually act in an ethical and moral way, or maybe did I fuck something up and should I go and apologize to that person? So you want to evaluate your behavior. You don't just want to assume whatever I do is fine, even though a degree of delusional confidence in dating may be helpful. But so when you know, or when you're pretty certain that you've acted right, and in a kind way, maybe polarizing, and then you get a negative reaction, it doesn't say anything about you. So the way you interact with people in general changes. I've had clients who made massively positive changes in their business and their career as a result of improving their dating and relationship life. There's so many benefits that you'll accrue when you commit yourself. It's actually unbelievable. So I would highly encourage you, commit to the process. Really start enjoying the journey. Obviously, you want the outcome. Don't lie to yourself. Don't say, I just want the process. No, you're not supposed to do this dating and relationship thing forever. You're not supposed to be dating women forever. That's not what this is about. For most people, this is really not it. For most of you, you want to have an exclusive, amazing, high-quality relationship. But to get there, you'll have to learn to love the process. If you won't love the process, you're not going to be able to get there. But the fastest way to actually learn to love the process is, one, to make that decision, to commit yourself, and then once you get on the journey and you start accruing the first wins, right, the winner effect, it's going to flow very easily. Same in martial arts. In the beginning, you get punched in the head, it's not fun. But then the first time somebody throws a punch and you duck, or the first time, bam, you land a kick, you're like, wow, that's a win. And you're like, it sounds really weird. People who know martial arts, they can relate to that a bit. The first time you land a punch, or you land a kick on somebody, or somebody kicks you and you block it, like in whichever way, or you evade it, that is a win. And that changes your neurochemistry, because Andrew Huberman from Stanford says wins preceded by effort boost testosterone. It really changes your testosterone levels to accrue wins. But you can only accrue wins if you allow yourself to suck for a period of time. Now, obviously, you can reduce the amount of time you'll suck from years to weeks and months with the right kind of guidance. So if you want me to help you with that personally, simply apply for a free initial call with the link underneath this profile. We're going to take a look at your individual situation. We'll create a plan for you, how you can learn to love the process, and then systematically get the result of an amazing girlfriend or life partner. Looking forward to speaking with you personally. Wish you all the best.